This little locomotive is the John Bull from Bachmann Trains. It is from their John Bull train set they had available many years ago, and I wanted to showcase it. To start off, the John Bull has quite a long history, but for this video I'll be giving a brief summary. The John Bull was initially an 040 built in Newcastle, England by the Robert Stephenson and Company in 1831. It was then dismantled and shipped to the United States, where it was reassembled for the Camden and Amboy Railroad. Might have butchered that. During its time with the CNA was when the locomotive would receive some modifications that would give it its appearance today. Such modifications include the cowcatcher and the pilot wheels to stop the locomotive from derailing, a bell, headlight, and a cab which no longer exists today. It was also at this time, after the pilot wheels were installed, the connecting rods between the driving wheels were removed, and then only the back wheels were powered. This in turn turned the locomotive from an 040 to a 420 as the front driving wheels are no longer powered. The John Bull would work with the CNA until 1866, where it would then be placed into storage. In 1871, when the Pennsylvania Railroad acquired the CNA, the PRR would refurbish the John Bull and use it for publicity events in 1876 and 1883. In 1884, the locomotive would be purchased by the Smithsonian Institution as the museum's first major industrial exhibit. While sitting on static display in a controlled environment, the PRR would build a replica to operate in 1939 for exhibit events. For 42 years, the loco remained static until it was fired up again in 1981 for the locomotive's 150th birthday and became the oldest operable locomotive in the world. As of today, the John Bull is on static display at the Smithsonian American History Museum in front of the Transportation and Technology Wing. As for the coaches, I could not find any history on those, but I do know you can see one of the original number 3 coach at the Road Museum of Pennsylvania, and it is the second oldest coach in the US. The set is packed in a brownish box with a lovely illustration of the loco and coaches. You can also open the flap to reveal the model on the inside. On the back of the box, we have a silhouette of the train and general set info, and on the edges of the box, we have the same silhouettes and some writing. The box can be opened on either end. Inside the box, we have the loco and tender, 3 passenger cars, a loop of track with 12 curves, 1 straight, 1 terminal rerailer, and finally a power pack and speed controller. The locomotive consists of 2 pieces, those being the non-powered loco and the tender with the motor. They are both connected by a small pin here. The locomotive is made of plastic, and due to its size, it is very lightweight. The loco features a paint scheme of a green frame and cowcatcher, brown boiler with gold banding, and a black firebox and smoke box. The boiler features a wooden look with the steam dome, bell, and whistle, and I am not quite sure what this part is called, but it is made of metal. The steam dome also has the same wood effect, with pipes connecting to the smoke box. On the smoke box, we have the smokestack with grooves on top, and a non-operable headlight. The front of the smoke box has a molded door, and below we actually have molded piston ends. The firebox features separately applied controls and molded rivet detail. On the frame, we have a metal railing, and the cowcatcher has a die-cast metal plate and spring in the back to keep it on the track. The tender, on the other hand, is where the actual motor is, and as such makes it the heaviest piece of the set. The tender is painted green with a black roof and is molded to look like it's made of wood. On the back of the tender, we have a little seat for crew and what I think may be some sort of brake pipe, though I could be wrong. There is also a separately applied handrail, and as for the front of the tender, there isn't much going on, but we do have separately applied handrails here too. As for the coaches in the set, there really isn't a whole lot to talk about. The 3 coaches in the set are all made of plastic, painted in a black and green color scheme. On the other end, you have molded in doors, handrails, and steps. On the inside of the coach, there is actually interior seating for figures if you so choose. And to be honest, I didn't even know they had seating until I decided to just open them up, and I've had this set for years. On the bottom, we have the bracing with plastic trucks in a goldish color with black plastic wheels. Due to all these factors, these coaches are extremely lightweight. To connect the whole train, each car has a pin and loop hook on each end, minus the locomotive. Once it's all together, they stay connected pretty well and will rarely uncouple unless some other force is applied. For this running session, we'll just have the train going around on this loop. And that was the Bachmann John Bull train set. It's a great and simple model of this iconic locomotive, and if you want one for yourself, there are plenty of listings off eBay to go through. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.